The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.
Greetings, my fellow warriors, by Meckanimal, and today we're going to learn three simple variations of the bodyweight squats that will give you a great stimulation of your quads, your hamstrings, and glutes at the same time. And the interesting part about it is that it only involves one movement, the bodyweight squat. So without, before you tend to jump to number amount of exercise out there, why not focus on one movement, try to master it before you try to involve any other type of movement. And we're going to start with understanding that there's a metric part, there's a metric portion, there's a metric aspect of each exercise is one concept that's very overlooked in training in general by newbies, and you should understand that that's one great way to overcome the biological way of adaptation, and which is commonly known as plateau. So involving there's a metric in the movement will be one great way to provide a different type of stimulus, especially in the basic movement like the squats that most people think they've mastered, but have not really mastered it. They're not really proficient at it because they tend to do it too fast. So this is an opportunity for you to build a simple routine if you decide to work your leg at home, where you pretty much target all the angle like the bodybuilders tend to wanna revolve around the term. They love the term. So, and try to strengthen up your muscles in within all the ranges of motion of the movements that you want to be using during your routine, and notably will be the bodyweight squat today. So without further ado, we're gonna learn three variations of the bodyweight squat, and the first variation will be the three ways or the three level isometric hold of the bodyweight squat that you can use. The second one will be the bottom pose, still an isometric movements of the bodyweight squat, and the third one will be just the regular bodyweight squat. And I'm going to show you guys how to do the movement pretty efficiently and avoid all type of knee problem in the future. So let me use this thing here. So the bodyweight squat, we're gonna start reversely by the last one that I just mentioned, the regular bodyweight squat. So the bodyweight squat is a movement that involves your hip hinge and a knee flexion, and you're gonna start by setting yourself about shoulder width or slightly outside of shoulder width. The distance will depend on your hip structure, your anthropometry. It varies. Some people will have to go wider. Some people can go super narrow. Myself, with time, I figured slightly outside of shoulder width is the perfect distance that I tend to use. And then, as of the angle to use for your feet, you want to go. You don't want to be perfectly straight, because as you externally rotate your hip, your knee may maybe subject to too much torque. So I would rather go maybe 15 to 12 degrees out, so it's enough for you to create some type of pressure and torque in the ground. Think of your feet as screwdrivers, where you create torque before you descend to the abyss. So shoulder width, starting outside of shoulder width, leg a little bit outside, about 12 degrees. And another easy way to figure how far away your feet should be would be get the stance that you need, squeeze your glute, and then whatever direction your feet will be positioned at, you want to use that you want to use that angle or just slightly come inward, so it gives you more room to create, that torque in the floor. So that being said, you want to start by retracting your back here. Some people like to do it this way. I like to hug my chest so that it mimic the movement of the ball. If you have a ball on your back, you're not gonna be that way, right? So having my hand on my chest like this mimic the movement of the same movement pattern observed when you have the ball load up on your back. Just from this way, I want to start by breaking my hips down, because the first joint that you break is going to be the one that take the load. And for this movement, the first joint we want to load it will be the hip joint. So we want to start by breaking in and then descend to the bottom, slightly break parallel, and then back up. Start by breaking the hip first, descend, slightly break parallel, and then back up. For those who have full flexibility, you could pretty much go well below and go as to grass, but it's not mandatory. As long as you can slightly break parallel, you can come back up. Some people really are bad with the hip mobility. They can just go they can just reach parallel, or whatever range of motion they can reach. Feel free to do so. Eventually you can increase the range of motion, but the most important thing you want to have is start by breaking the hip first. I don't want you to be reaching too bug out, because you still need to be fairly neutral, not too much extension of your spine. So squeeze your glutes, neutral, retract your shoulder blade, break, and then as you descend, you want to make sure that you track your knee from drifting to forward. And then as you break parallel, then you can relax and let your ankle mobility let your knee drift forward. Not until you break parallel. At any given time, you want to be tracking past your toes. So yes, you can track past the toes. The only thing is you have to make sure that you break parallel first before you let it go. So we go again. Shoulder width, create some torque. Break your hips, down, squat, and up. Down, squat, and up. So that's how we're gonna be going. I went through a whole tutorial of how to squat, even though that was not really the main subject of the video. So now this is the first movement. You have the bodyweight squat that I just showcased right now. The second movement will be the isometric part. So in the isometric part, you want to, same thing, follow the same protocol. Break, come down, go to slightly break parallel, and then hold for time. You want to aim somewhere between 30 seconds and 60 seconds. It is much harder than most people would think, because a lot of time people have weaknesses to all the range of motion. Even some people who can squat a whole load of weight may have a hard time holding a 30-second isometric right there, because of the lack of because of the weaknesses throughout the range of motion. And these kind of drills can help you troubleshoot why during the loaded squat you may be having a hard time keeping the movement uniform at any given weight. Meaning, as it gets heavier, you should be proficient at the movement, right? But sometimes you have weaknesses through the range of motion, and as you get stronger, you tend to break form. People who have mastered the movement are able to duplicate the same form no matter how heavy it gets. Maybe, of course, when you're maxing, you may drift a little bit, but in terms of mechanic, it tends to be duplicated properly. So the next one, which will be the last and third variation, will be the 3-level squat. And and the 3-level squat will be somewhere. Start by braking slightly. So you load up and you hold that load up part for 3 seconds. You get 3 seconds going down, and then you come down 3 seconds. Usually will be somewhere around 45 degrees, and then you come all the way down, brake parallel, and you hold for 3 seconds. Back to 45, 3 seconds. Come all the way slightly bent and still loaded. 3 seconds. You don't want to completely extend. I want you to keep the tension in your glutes at all time. Then you go back again, 45 degrees, 3 seconds, brake parallel, 3 seconds, back to 45, 3 seconds, right there. Load up, 45, 45, halfway, and up. So that's that. So that will be the third variation. So you have the basic squat, you have the mid range isometric hold for a longer time, and then you have the 3-level isometric for 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 3 seconds, and the whole time you want to keep the time under tension, smooth, and keep everything tight. Now you could replace the regular squat for those who are pretty good already, and it could be too easy to just squat for a number. So you can go with 1 and a quarter repetition, meaning 1 repetition will be squatting, come 45 degrees, come back down and up. Squatting, come 45 degrees, come back down and up. And up. So that could be your 1 repetition. This is a variation you can substitute with a regular squat if you want to get more work, more time on the tension during the repetition. So let's go over it again. So you have the 3 variations of the squat, which will be the regular squat, which can be substituted with a 1 and 1/4 repetition. So regular squat will be this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Substituted with 1 and 1/4 repetition will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got that, and then the next one will be the pause isometric hold, which will be somewhere along this. You hold for time. Obviously I don't have too much time here, but I can hold for 30 seconds to 60 seconds. 60 seconds is gonna be a killer. So that's that. From the side, it looks like this. And then we have the 3-level. Start by braking. That's 1 level. 45 degrees. Brake parallel. 45 degrees. Back. That's 1 repetition. Back again, 45. Brake parallel. Back. Up. And back again. So you will see that with these variations, you don't need too many repetitions for you to get a good quality workout. So that's that. Hope it was pretty useful, and yes, so like, comment, subscribe, share it if need be, and if you guys like it, we can have some series of home workout videos that we can do during this time. Everything is, and we always be smooth in the Meckanimal way. Salute, subscribe, like, comment. Peace.
The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will be live.